everybody, how's it going? It's Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and I figured I'd have a conversation with you guys today. Now, I have just, yeah, that's right, I'm a wizard, and wizards smoke out of great big pipes. But you know what? I am beside myself. I'm doing something that's not scripted. Because I'm seeing a lot of backlash, a whole lot of backlash about something that is new and out there, and it's part of the public conversation right now. And that is this new Gillette commercial, this new shaving products thing from Gillette. Gillette's been making razors for at least a century or so, and whole lot of people are like, oh no, they're attacking men, they're saying men are scum, blah 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 blah. And all right, I'm gonna put this out there, and I'm putting this out there right now. Okay, we here at Back in the Deck is all about inclusion, and in order to include everybody, that means everybody has got to be better. Okay, better than what we are. I don't care if you think that you're already good. You can be better. Everybody can be better because none of us is perfect, and that's what that means. So after spending a good day on social media that, let's face it, that's not good for the mental health of anyone. I would rather perform exorcisms on kindergartners. I saw a lot of the backlash to all this stuff. But before we do this, let's take a look at this commercial. Okay, let's just take a look at this commercial.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual
Toxic
harassment.
masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
But she says
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie.
Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool, not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men, we're at... Oh, shit.
and small.
I'm strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay?
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
I don't see a problem here. I really don't. I'm seeing all this backlash against men. Let me go through all this stuff, and I wanna just check this out. Certain frames,
Bullying.
by certain frames, and just like take a look at how men are being attacked. This video opens with a bunch of men looking in the mirror, saying, taking a look at themselves, while in the background there's stuff about the Me Too movement and all that stuff. All right, now what I'm seeing here is a bunch of people looking at themselves, questioning, am I doing the right thing? Now, last I checked, isn't that what an adult's job was supposed to be? I mean, seriously, I normally have guests on with me, but this, again, I was checking this stuff out. I'm sitting up working on a video claim on YouTube, and I'm just seeing all this stuff, and I'm seeing all the backlash. But like I said, this is, a bunch of adults looking in the mirror questioning whether or not they're doing the right thing. Now, last time I checked, isn't that what we were all supposed to be doing? Now, let's take a look at this next thing. We got one kid running from a bunch of kids, And then whole bunch of stuff like, everybody hates you, one kid getting bullied by a whole group of kids. How is this attacking men? Okay, this is stuff that happens, and stuff that we as a culture say, well, that's not acceptable. Kids shouldn't be bullied and stuff like that. But we're watching it. And when it happens, it's somebody's responsibility to stop it, right? I mean, last time I checked, if 5 people are ganging up on one or somebody starts a fight, isn't it our responsibility as an organized society that's supposed to be part of a civilization to act civilized, to solve our problems in ways that push violence to the last resort? I mean, let's check. And, then we've got, let me see here. We've got a kid, a little boy, crying to his mom, with all these words. It really looks like he's been called all those words: sissy, loser, all those things that little boys are called, unless they add up or measure up to this standard of masculinity that is toxic. And I'm not saying that because I personally believe is toxic. I live under a really, really strict but simple to say set of ethics, and that is, do unto others as I would have them do unto my children. Okay, this is a really big thing, because a lot of people are like, well, that's just how boys are, blah blah blah. But at the same time, I'm hearing the same toxic stuff come out of men saying, well, no, that wouldn't happen to my son, that wouldn't happen to my daughter. It's perfectly okay until it hits your home. And if it's not okay, if it's in your home, then it's not okay. It's that simple. That's how I look at things. And I personally am not feeling attacked. And I'm not feeling attacked as a man. I was taught by women and men from like the 1800s, that yes, it is a man's job to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves or who aren't standing up for themselves. But as I've gotten older and I've questioned my own toxically masculine thought process, for me it comes down to adulthood. And when I say for me, I mean my perspective is that adults, all of us adults, have responsibilities. We have responsibilities to be examples to the next generation. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm Generation X, and millennials are hidden middle age, and the generation after that, which my daughter is actually part of, they look at me and they look at people our age to try and gauge what their lives are going to be like once they get here. So it's our job to give an example of the proper ways to behave. And by proper, I don't mean proper by society standards. I mean the functional way to live. Last I checked, every parent wants at least better for their children. But in order to do that, we have to act better. We have to be better than what came before us, even if what came before us were our very selves. And that's what I'm seeing in just the first 16 seconds of this ad. Now let me double check. All right, so we then go on to the wolf whistles and the sexual harassment on television, and the, in short, acting like douchebags. Again, this is not okay behavior. And you fathers out there, you know what I'm talking about, because if anybody acted that way, groping and whistling at and acting like a douche to get your little girl's attention, you'd be loading up your shotgun right now. So way down in places that we don't talk about at parties, we know that is not the right way to be. And this commercial is just coming out and saying, this is not the right way to be. This is not what we're supposed to be doing here. And yeah, it's funny. And then we have an example of mansplaining. Well, what she really means to say is, now, as you guys know, I'm a person of color. And as a person of color, I'm frustrated to high hell that a lot of what I say fall on deaf ears until it's said by a middle-class white person. So I understand how women feel when it comes to being mansplained. Okay? They have things to say because gender doesn't determine your capability of processing information. And if we lived in a country that is as equal as it says it is, everyone is hired based on their qualifications of the job. Oh, but Solar, what about affirmative action? I hear you say. But affirmative action made sure that people of color and people that are part of disenfranchised groups like color and gender and sexual identities and all those things we talk about here at Back in the Deck get the job, yes. But their qualifications are the things that help them keep it. All right? They might get a way in the door because they're not a white dude, but they keep the job because they can do the job, which means mansplaining, color-splaining, all that other jazz that's out there. That shouldn't be part of the whole thing. If you're in the office, you do the job. If you do the job and have something to say pertaining to that job, then you need to be heard. It's that simple. All right? So let's move on to the next part here. We've got kids playing. Okay, yeah. And there we go with the boys will be boys thing. Now, a lot of people take serious offense to that part. The boys will be boys. What, we can't say boys will be boys anymore? Well, in a nutshell, you can say it. You can say it all you want. But it's not an excuse for poor behavior. It's not an excuse for popping bra straps. It's not an excuse for beating up the kid that's bad at sports. Okay? Boys will be boys, but they need to behave better in order to become men. And as a man, it is your job and my job to point that out and to make sure that it's happening. So yeah, boys will be boys, but that is not an excuse for terrible behavior. And I think that is what this commercial is saying so far. Let's get back to it. Let's see. Now here we're talking about, yeah, I turned the sound off just to make sure that a lot of stuff doesn't get flagged. And again, we've got talking about the Me Too movements, and again, a lot of men questioning themselves. Now this part of the commercial I think is really, really poignant. Okay? It's really poignant. Because I'm sorry to tell you, it is the responsibility of people in power to make sure that that power is used responsibly. Okay? The whole premise of the musical Camelot, one of the most favorite musicals of a former president, a real president, John F. Kennedy, was might for right, not might makes right. We're supposed to use power to make sure the right thing is done. And I bring this up here, I had to take it off of mute for a minute, because we got Terry Crews, a successful, powerful man who, let's face it, if you guys out there trying to go, but actually, shut up. If you met him in an alley, you wouldn't challenge him to a fight, you'd be scared, because he's a big, muscular, angry-looking black man. However, he had a run-in with sexual assault, and let's see what he had to say about it on the floor of Congress.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Okay? Men need to hold other men accountable. I'm not seeing anything so far that's attacking men. All right? It's just saying we got to step up and be there for those who, we have to be there for those affected by people who are not performing properly. Okay? It's really that simple. Let's head back, check out the next part of this commercial thing. So we've got a party, and a dude's like, hey girl, and another dude comes up and says, nah, dude, that ain't cool. Another dude about to catcall, dude, that ain't cool. Don't do that. You know, that's all this is saying. It's saying that it's time for us to be better as men. All right, it really is that time. All right. Now, you guys can say what you want about me. I know this comment section is going to be huge, especially since I'm putting this up on YouTube as soon as I get done rendering this thing. And I'm going to get a lot of backlash. And you know what? I don't care. Your feelings about this matter does not change the fact that it's time for things to change. It is time to be better. All right? So let's check out the next part of this thing. Yeah, it's a dad walking down the street with his son, seeing a kid getting bullied, and another dude stopping a fight and make it like we got examples of men actually being men and showing boys how to be better. A father sticking up for the kid that's being bullied, and again, one of the fathers looking at that whole boys will be boys is going, that fight's going too far. This needs to stop. And he steps in and stops it. So how is this attacking men? Huh? How is it attacking? It's only attacking the men that let the bad things happen. That's what I'm seeing right now. And if you guys don't like the tone of my voice right now, I'm angry. All right? I'm angry that there's so much backlash at this. And of course, it's showing, that last thing of the boys of today. We have to be a better example for the boys of today because they're the men of tomorrow. And Gillette's slogan for, God, as long as I can remember, and I'm in my 40s, is a best a man can get. So it's asking the question, right now, are we the best that we can be? Or is this the best a man can get? Is a catcalling, butt-grabbing, bullying dude with a foul mouth and no consideration for how their actions affect other people the best a man can be? I say no. I honestly say no. And I say that because I want people in this world to treat me and each other the exact way that they would treat their own children. The same way that they want others to treat their children, with respect, with patience, with tolerance, with wisdom. Just enough wisdom to say that is not the way to do things. There is a proper way to do things, and this is what it is. Share your knowledge. Quit trying to defend your own feelings and say, well, I feel a little guilty about this, so I gotta make... No, stop it. Just stop it, all right? Be the men that your mothers would be proud of. Be the men that you want your daughter bringing home and saying, this is the man I'm going to marry. Okay, if you have those desires, then you have to teach these people what that looks like. You have to teach your daughters and your nieces and your little sister what a good man looks like. And you really have to ask yourself the question, if a little boy was looking at me and wanting to be just like me, would that kid be a jerk? I ask myself that question every day. And the truth is, a lot of the days, the answer is yeah. Those little kids would be a jerk. They would be chain-smoking, foul-mouthed, ancient knowledge seeking out weirdos. But simultaneously, I'm doing everything I can to get better. I'm reading more. I'm considering other people's point of views. So if one day my daughter comes up to me and says, this is the type of man I'm bringing home, and I see the good parts of me in that kid, then I know I've done a little better. I've done a little better. So can you say the same thing? This ad isn't attacking all men. It's attacking the ones who are doing poorly. All right? And don't not all men at me. All right? Especially if you were one of those people saying racism is over because a black man became president. Stop it. All right? Not enough people are doing better. Of course, not all men are like this, but enough of them are to make it an issue. We just put somebody on the Supreme Court that had 15 witnesses talking about sexual harassment. 15! Now, you guys were ready to freaking lynch Cosby over 12. And we just put another one on the Supreme Court. Is this the world you want for your children? So, as far as this ad goes, I don't see it attacking men. I'm seeing it as, one, showing what men do that's unacceptable, and two, more importantly, how to step up and be better. It's saying if you see something, do something. If you see a kid being bullied, stand up for that kid. It's not saying don't fight. It's saying don't start it. And if a fight goes too far, You know, if a fight goes too far, if you see somebody getting hurt, step in, stop it. If you see somebody talking to a woman in a way that you wouldn't want them talking to your daughter in, or heaven forbid, somebody talking to your mom like that, then you step in and say, whoa, 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 you show her respect because she's a person and she freaking deserves it. It's that simple. All right? If we're going to be men, if we're going to be adults, okay, adults, men, women, and every gender in between, if we are going to be adult, we need to show each other and ourselves respect. And we need to show the next generation what that looks like. All right, this is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and thanks for joining me for this cup of coffee and conversation. Like I said, this is upsetting, but anyway, I know it's coming in the comment section, so I'll see you guys there. In the meantime, if you like what I do, check out the Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/bid_p, and yeah, and if you really want to help us out on a personal way, you know, keep these lights on and make sure that we can make these videos about, you know, personhood and escapism and writing and games and all that other fun stuff, head over to our Patreon. We got lots of videos up, and for $1 a month, just $1, you know, or as low as $1, we've got quite a few tiers, but just for as low as $1 a month, you would really be helping us out on this one. All right, so anyway, until then, this is Solar Gray. I'm the Cinematic Sorcerer, and I'll be seeing you guys on the dark side of the room. All right, and again, if anybody tells you that you can't have the hobbies you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual preference, your disability, or your budget, because I know I'm broke, you just tell them that I told them to take any of those cards and put them back in the deck. This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying see you guys later.